He required 5 others to ensure my happiness. My husband pressed his lips gently against my shoulder before quietly retreating. He had his moment, and now he was allowing me to witness what would come next. The silence enveloped the room, yet I sensed the change beneath the surface. They stood prepared, just within reach. He leaned in again, his voice calm and unwavering. Delight in it. Before we dive in, take a moment to show your appreciation for this video and consider subscribing. Your swift and effortless support significantly contributes to the growth of this channel. It genuinely creates an impact. I appreciate your presence. Let us commence. He revealed everything without reservation. His body melded intimately with the rhythm, breath hitching with each deliberate motion. The sheets writhed beneath us, moist and adhering to our skin. My legs coiled around him. Reluctance gripped my heart as I faced the reality of parting ways with him. He kissed me, slowly and intensely, as if he were pouring every part of himself into that moment. His hand remained steady at my waist, clutching as if I might disappear if he didn't hold on tightly enough. It was a crescendo, his concentration, his dedication, the manner in which he poured forth every ounce of his being. As it drew to a close, he fell beside me, his chest heaving rapidly, skin warm and glistening with sweat. The ceiling loomed above me as I struggled to regain my breath. Yet, beneath the surface, a quiet turmoil persisted, an ember that refused to extinguish. I faced him, my body resonating with a delightful ache. Once more? I murmured. His eyes fluttered open, revealing a world that slowly came into focus. He offered a gentle smile, weary yet tender. Please hold on for a moment. He made an effort. Indeed, he truly did. He pressed his lips against my shoulder, his fingertips gliding down my spine. Rolling over, he slipped back into the space between us, this time with a deliberate slowness, his lips finding their way to my neck. I welcomed him once more, mirrored his movements, remained by his side, encouraging him with my presence, yet I sensed it, the uncertainty in his rhythm, the faltering of his breath, the gradual loss of his strength, muscles struggling to maintain the tempo. Yet, I embraced him tightly, planting kisses on his cheek, his jaw, his lips. It's all right, I murmured. His gaze met mine, a blend of remorse and determination flickering in his eyes. Yet, disappointment eluded me, for my love for him remained steadfast, and I could see his earnest attempts. He remained by my side, his warmth lingering, his presence intimate, yet nestled deep within me. Something else lingered, neither doubt nor emptiness, but a profound hunger, not due to any fault of his own, but rather because I was never finished. He mentioned it the following morning. In the kitchen, I cradled my second cup of coffee, still enveloped in the warmth of his t-shirt from the night prior. He entered, hair tousled, eyes barely open, yet there was a certain intensity in his gaze, an air of incompleteness lingering about him. He rested against the counter, his gaze lingering on me just a moment too long before he finally broke the silence. Have you ever experienced that sensation of inadequacy, as if you simply don't measure up? The question arrived with a gentle touch, devoid of defensiveness or insecurity, simply embodying openness and curiosity. I locked eyes with him, but that's not the answer. He nodded slowly, yet I can sense your lingering hunger, can see it in your eyes. I paused before responding, cradling the mug's rim, its warmth enveloping my hands. It's not about you, I finally admitted. You offer me everything, and I sense that deeply, I cherish that. He moved in closer, yet it remained insufficient. I gazed at him, truly gazed, and there was no shame in his voice, only an undeniable truth, along with perhaps something more, something profound that remained unspoken. I inhaled deeply. I seek more not due to your shortcomings, but simply because it is my desire. He nodded once more, lost in contemplation. What if there existed a path to grant you that, all while preserving the essence of what we share? Would you embrace it? I remained still, silent, yet my gaze held firm, that alone sufficed. He extended his hand across the counter, enveloping mine with a tender grip, his fingers curling softly around my own. Though his words remained unspoken, I sensed it deeply. He was already contemplating the how. 2 days later, he returned from work accompanied by 5 unfamiliar men. Without a hint or a word of clarification, they entered behind him with an air of familiarity, smiles gracing their faces, nodding as they removed their shoes, coats already half unbuttoned. In the kitchen, I lingered, grasping a half-chopped onion in my hand. "Oh, dinner isn't quite ready yet," I mentioned. "That's all right," he responded, placing his keys on the table. "They have not come for the evening meal." The 5 men lounged around the table, an air of familiarity enveloping them as if this gathering was a well-worn ritual. Their conversation was sparse, filled only with brief remarks about work, the traffic, and a few tidbits from the news. Yet, I sensed it, the way their gazes continually sought me out. Not in a disrespectful manner, nor overtly assertive, simply observant. He uncorked a bottle of wine, filled a glass, and presented it to me. "Are you all right?" he inquired. I nodded, though my response was delayed. His fingers brushed against my waist with a delicate touch, lingering for a heartbeat before he leaned closer and murmured softly in my ear. "They have come for you." Time slipped away from me before I could respond. The words lingered in the atmosphere, suspended like a delicate mist. "They have come for you." As my husband entered the room, he leaned in and pressed his lips against mine. It was a kiss that held no softness, no trace of hesitation. It was complete, steadfast, as if he required me to sense his presence before anything else could unfold. The 5 men remained silent. They occupied the space across the room, positioned along the distant wall beyond the open kitchen. The dim illumination revealed their features. Intrigued, attentive, enigmatic. Their gaze remained fixed upon me. My husband's hands glided with a deliberate slowness. One glided beneath the hem of my shirt, while the other nestled at my waist. With a deft motion, he draped the fabric over my head, showcasing his skillful familiarity. With a calm assurance, he extended his hand behind me and deftly unfastened the clasp with a gentle flick. His lips grazed my collarbone, his breath a warm, steady whisper. I yielded without a fight. He led me in reverse, drawing me closer to the counter. Each movement was intentional, unhurried, rooted in the present, as if he desired this moment to be witnessed in silence. In a deliberate, almost cinematic manner, he gradually removed my layers, one by one, until the gentle touch of fabric ceased to exist between us. The cool marble brushed against my skin, sending a shiver coursing through my body. He drew back a fraction, allowing the weight of the moment to settle upon him, before leaning in once more. His hands glided over my thighs. His mouth traced the same route, deliberate and unhurried. As his lips met mine with purpose, I released a breath, not in haste, but in a measured, uneven sigh that had lingered within me. He remained steadfast, anchored in his resolve. His touch moved with a serene, contemplative rhythm. He moved at his own pace. He was being genuine. His movements carried a certain sincerity, as if he sought to communicate solely through his very being. I steadied myself, fingers gripping the edge that lay just behind me. A gentle warmth enveloped me, building gradually, each layer wrapping around my senses. Every instant drew me further into tranquility. I was not in captivity. I found myself under observation. Across the room, stillness reigned, yet I sensed the weight of their gazes upon me. Their presence lingered in the atmosphere, undeniable and compelling. My husband stayed near, completely engaged, never faltering in our shared cadence. His deliberate actions crafted an atmosphere that was both subtle and unmistakable. In that moment, as if compelled by an unseen force, my body leaned toward him, as though the very laws of nature had altered. As he finally withdrew, he ascended with deliberate slowness, his lips grazing my stomach, then my chest, and finally the delicate curve just beneath my jaw. He assisted me in turning, softly directing me to lean against the countertop. My body moved in sync with his guidance. My arms came to rest. My back arched gracefully, my breath measured yet light. It was then that I beheld them, the 5 men, no longer motionless. They settled into their seats, jackets loosened, their postures evolving. Time lingered, and silence spoke volumes. The atmosphere in the room had transformed, concentrated, purposeful, heavy with silence. My husband stepped behind me. His hands found their way back to my hips, anchoring me in place. He leaned in, each movement measured and intentional. The power of his grip enveloped me, as he drew near, unwavering and confident. His breath caressed my neck, igniting the tension that simmered between us. I shifted alongside him, attuned to his cadence, allowing the tension to gradually intensify between us. His focus enveloped me, his presence palpable, as if he sought to ensure that every unvoiced thought was acknowledged. I belonged to him, and he desired them to witness that, even in this moment. And I allowed them to proceed. A gentle sound slipped from his lips. He descended, paused, then gradually reduced his pace. His forehead lay gently upon my shoulder, his breath steady and profound. His hands glided from my waist with a gentle touch, cascading down my sides. He lingered for a heartbeat, then withdrew. I remained in my place, motionless, anchored, vibrating just below the exterior. Before me, the 5 men positioned themselves, each in turn, devoid of chaos, lacking urgency, yet moving with intent. Jackets slipped from shoulders, sleeves casually rolled, hands deftly adjusted buttons. Once again, my husband leaned in. His lips grazed the curve of my ear, his voice a whisper, filled with delight. Silently, the first one advanced, offering no utterance. His hands found their place at my waist, and I offered no resistance. He approached with assurance, unwavering and composed. My body responded instinctively, outpacing the thoughts that struggled to follow. I inhaled deeply, standing to greet him, engulfed by the proximity and the fervor of his stride. He advanced with precision, each movement calculated and intentional. With my hands pressed against the counter, my arms quivered as I fought to maintain my balance. Each movement stirred a wave within, constricting a hidden tension deep within my core, and then it seized me, swift and gasping. My body tightened, then relaxed as an unexpected sound slipped from my lips. I didn't crumble, I expanded. In that fleeting moment, he withdrew, his essence remaining even as the feeling faded away. Before I had the chance to regain my strength, another figure loomed closer, taller and broader than the last. He positioned me with a gentle touch, his hands steady yet cautious, before leaning closer. I clutched the edge once more, my knees trembling beneath the weight of the moment. His stride was distinct, measured, profound, and intentional. Each movement bore significance, sending ripples of tension coursing through me. My breath caught in my throat. I remained utterly motionless, anchored by the unwavering aura he exuded. The second wave struck with greater intensity. My thighs trembled, my hands clenched. I grasped at an elusive essence, only to release it, left breathless and unmoored. Yet, that was not the conclusion. The third one took their place next. One hand ascended, fingers weaving softly through my hair, angling me just right to lock gazes with him. He did not linger. His movements exuded confidence and certainty. My breath came in quick, staccato gasps. My body trembled with every surge of pressure, yet I remained steadfast, refusing to retreat. I embraced it completely. Not out of obligation, but from a deep-seated necessity. It surged over me once more, a cacophony of sound, more powerful and consuming than before. A cry erupted from deep within me as the weight of it all began to unravel. He anchored me as I trembled in his embrace, providing stability while the moment unfolded. They had not yet finished. The fourth entered, and once again, another positioned themselves before me. He gently raised my chin, pressed his lips to mine in a deep, lingering kiss, and then settled himself into place. I embraced him wholeheartedly. He advanced with determination. Everything unfolds in its own time, with ease and grace. As the individual behind me discovered his rhythm, The one ahead of me mirrored his movement. Their movements harmonized seamlessly, one grounding me with a tranquil authority, while the other mirrored the cadence I offered him. The tension escalated swiftly, overwhelming in its force, and as it reached its peak, I released, the noise soft and subdued, trapped in the space between them. As they retreated, the fifth took its position. My body quivered, a tempest of sensations, yet I reached for him, aligning with his cadence, allowing the moment to linger once more. Then, without warning, I sensed another presence behind him, not replacing, but rather supporting and enhancing. One of them anchored my hips with a firm grip, another directed my legs to part. A third lingered close, his touch gentle, anchoring me to the moment. They collaborated seamlessly, not as a mere blur, but as a unified force flowing through me. I was not lost. I found myself embraced, enveloped by an unwavering presence that exuded stability and assurance. My breath caught in my throat, my hands faltered. My voice faltered as the cadence between them reached its zenith. There existed a profound absence of urgency. They glided with perfect precision, and I surrendered to it, without a hint of opposition. One of them arrived precisely at the moment I required, igniting a response I found impossible to suppress. It did not ascend in a gradual manner. It hit suddenly, without warning. The ultimate release struck with the force of a tempest. My back arched, my mouth parted, yet silence enveloped me. The power of it coursed through every fiber of my being. My limbs surrendered. My body surrendered to the embrace of warmth that enveloped me. I was not in the act of falling. I found myself being lifted away. At last, a profound silence enveloped the surroundings. The weight of the moment dissipated. Their hands withdrew, soft and deliberate. The atmosphere enveloping me gradually returned to stillness. I lingered in that position, bent forward, breath irregular, skin warm, muscles relaxed, a gentle vibration coursing through me, open, complete, and at last serene. Then I raised my gaze. My husband remained in his place, across the room, a silent observer, unyielding in his stillness. His gaze was fixed upon me. His jaw clenched with tension. His hands tightened into fists. Yet it was not anger. It was a moment of pure wonder. And I found myself no longer striving to grasp what once felt attainable. I felt whole. Not every man is prepared to allow another to assume his role, yet some do, and it transforms their bond for eternity. So, I ask you, if it meant providing her with what she truly needed, would you allow it to unfold? I would truly appreciate your insights in the comments section. Before you depart, kindly consider liking, subscribing, and tapping the bell icon to lend your support to the channel, ensuring you stay updated on what lies ahead. Thank you for tuning in. Until we meet again.